Hello and welcome to Circuit de Catalunya for the first round of the 2022 EERC British Touring Car Championship, a fun little championship that's going to support the endurance series that will be taking place throughout the year. My name is Edward Hunter, and alongside me for the first race is Mr. Joshua Birch. So Joshua, we did Formula E yesterday. Today we're doing touring cars. How exciting is that? Oh.
The lovely part of the track.
Sorry, I muted you on my end and I didn't hear anything, so I'm hoping that you were showing up on stream there.
I think I heard it on the comeback of the stream, but I'll say it again. Yeah, we're racing here for Formula 1 a couple of months back. Yesterday was Formula E racing around Zurich, and now we're at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, a circuit that I've been to, surprisingly very hilly, especially in the first sector, and sector 3 as well, the highest point on the track. We're using the Grand Prix layout, so we've got that funny little chicane that nobody likes, but I think it's going to be quite fun here. Are you expecting drama? I am.
Oh, I would be disappointed if we didn't get any drama. I think with the short format, we got the, 20-minute race 1 and then reverse grid race 2. I would be very surprised if we didn't see any overtakes at all. And,
I think we'll see some. We're bound to see a load of overtakes, and I'm very much looking forward to it. As you can see, is that our team? Oh, it was, but my picture's just gone blue.
Yeah, I've got it on the auto director. Yeah. So, Josh, I apologise. The stream won't be hearing this at all, but when I was muting you on my end, so I didn't hear you twice, it muted you completely. I wasn't sure if that was affecting the stream, so I've got it so not only can I hear myself echoed, but you as well.
Oh.
So that is going to give me a headache after a while, but I'll just stick with it.
Alright.
If there's like gaps, that's just me waiting for the echo to stop.
Okay, yep. If there is gaps, well, I'm sure we can live with that, can't we, throughout
Anyway,
as well?
you alluded to something there that was quite interesting, which is the fact that not only are we commentating on these races, but we've also got skin in the game.
Indeed.
Quite literally a skin in the game, created by Nick Homewood. And
well, we were joking about this idea, weren't we? It was the first test event we did at Donington, wasn't it? And we were joking around saying maybe we should enter a commentator team. And we've done it. And we're not driving in it at the moment. Got two very talented drivers in there. And it's a bit of fun. It's to give everybody a chance to come through who normally wouldn't get a chance to race. And I'm looking forward to see how our team does. Would you care to tell them our name?
Yes, the team is called Hunter Birch Simulation. After me, Edward Hunter, and you, Joshua Birch. And simulation, mainly because my dad actually runs a simulator company for airplane simulators, so I thought it'd be a nice little...
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that is. That is brilliant.
I don't want to give away too many details so people might track down that simulator company and then start giving my dad weird messages about, oh, best of luck for Catalunya, or why did your driver crash into me? Just like, I don't have any drivers.
Liam Neeson skills being portrayed there as well. We're in the practice time at the moment, but qualifying is coming up shortly, as you're all aware. The same basic format that we have for Formula E, where qualifying happens. We get like a 10-15 minute practice, then we go into our qualifying, and then bang into the race as well. As you said, Ed, it's a 2-race format with a 20-minute race 1 and then a reverse grid race 2, which hopefully you're not going to be commentating on your own for that one there, Ed, when I dash away. But
we'll have to see if Tom Dillon is around. If he's not, then I'll be okay with just 20 minutes. It's not like I've done endurance where I've done like several hours on my own, so as many who were listening early in the morning at Spa 24 hours back in October will remember very well when there was that amazing 3-car battle for the lead in LMP2 and I was the only one up, so well, apart from the drivers, of course.
And I'm very much looking forward to our first endurance race of the year getting underway soon as well. Was it the 6 hours, I think, we kick off? I think is it Silverstone? I want to say Silverstone is the first one we kick off with. I'll probably get the correct calendar up, which would be an interesting one. Nick Homewood's probably, I think he's in the track, yeah. Nick Homewood's in the pit lane at the moment, so he'll probably tell us. And Chris is in the steward's office as well, so I'm sure we'll get the confirmation ASAP. But it's looking to be another great one, and I'm excited to see where this one goes. We've got qualifying moments away, and then we'll really get an idea as to what this brand new Touring Car Championship can deliver. But my picture's frozen up in the box. Not sure about you, Ed, there. Might be my
I'm
side.
okay. I think Nick Homewood, is, while he's in the pits, has decided to reset my overlays.
Ah.
So I'm not sure what's happening there. As I'm looking at Valente just going off in the gravel now in the Hunter Burt simulation number 82 with the lovely microphone on the front, which of course gives away our profession as Valente goes over that dreaded final chicane.
I've lost
and into
all
the pit
connection.
lane.
Yeah, so I can hear you, Ed, but I've got no pictures. So
But I can hear you twice, which is more than I would like. But I'll just stick with it because when I tried to meet you earlier, I just couldn't hear you at all, which was a big problem. But I prefer it like this. 2 Josh is better than non-Josh.
I think you're the first person in history to say that as well.
Well, I'm a very lonely man. What can I say?
Not at all, not at all. As they come through as well, then you can see the pictures. I can't, but yes, Barcelona, first race of the year. I've got something else coming over my earphones now at the moment, so you can see.
Lewis having a big crash there. Can you see that, Josh?
I cannot, as things currently stand. Right. Give me just a second, and I'll take a picture. You want to talk us through it?
Okay, yeah. So Christine Lewis just had a massive crash. I think that was the little double chicane in the sort of middle of the lap. Is at Campsa, I think.
Is that turn 7 and 8? I've got pictures
7 and 8.
Now,
I think yes. As I'm looking at Lewis going into the gravel trap for X Power Racing, really struggling. I think X Power is the actual team, so I'm not sure what the actual team that Lewis drives for is. He's really in the. This isn't a very helpful camera angle, is it? Oh yeah, embedded in the gravel and back to the pit lane.
It's better than my angle, trust me. I've got nothing but 20-second delay while I try and get this fixed as well. But do get in touch on the YouTube as well, on the comments section, and we want to hear from you throughout the broadcast. I'm sure Ed can do with it in about 40 minutes' time, but I'll keep across at the moment as Christian Lewis back in the pit lane. I know if you're directing it, I'm a number of seconds behind the pictures.
No, I'm looking at Lewis as well. I think the audio director really likes him.
I've got 34 seconds left on the clock on my board.
What have to switch back to Sven.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 hour 54 minutes it says on my end.
That's
and
good.
14 seconds, 13, 12. Oh, Sven! He was on a purple time there, Sven Gilhead, who dominated, let's not forget, the test races. Hasn't had practice quite his own way with Eric Neef and Thomas McHugh really putting some superb laps in there. I was really hoping Valente, our driver of course, like I said, skin in the game, would be the one putting a challenge to Gilhead. He's not too far behind, I don't think.
Not too far, no. He's keeping up there.
You know what would be really helpful? If I actually had the correct qualifying
graphic
update rather than the
I've got my TV
Oh no, it's
pictures.
because it's reset, of course.
Yes.
So that's why it's showing them all in the pit lane. So I apologise for that.
Green light is on. Qualifying is underway at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. And this first, of course, 15 minutes for qualifying. It's crucial now for them all to head out there as well. Get a banker that time in. Then come back in, put on the lowest amount of fuel, your quickest set of tyres, and then just skate around the track looking for the best possible space you can get. And this track, it's an old school circuit as well, so it's quite tight and narrow in places, which means it's going to be quite interesting to see exactly how they're going to deal with it in the next 15 minutes.
It looks like Eric Neef, fastest in the practice, and first to get out on track for Coach Eric Academy, and that's some MGs behind him. Neef in the Subaru, of course. So quite surreal to see these British touring cars on a sort of F1 track.
I can
certainly get used to it, because Le Mans will certainly be interesting later in the season. As we see, there's a yellow flag. Is that McHugh, second in practice, just behind the Paul Street Boys car.
I'm very worried
another
about...
MG.
Yeah, sorry, I just heard you say about Le Mans. I'm very
Oh,
worried.
Thomas McHugh spins!
Oh!
So that was quite dramatic, wasn't it? So back to they're going to have to abandon that outlet. Not sure why he had the right-hand side wheels so far over the gravel, Josh. Felt like McHugh was looking behind him and not the road in front of him.
Yeah, a very strange situation, that one. It looked like he was just caught completely bizarre. That there was a chicane coming up. As you say, just put the wheel on the grass and then good night. This little chicane here is going to be cost him a lot of breakings on the front of the tyres. We'll see Eric Neath, who is top of the board at the moment, just coming through.
And look at how Neath went over the curb, or didn't go over the curb actually. He avoided it completely and had a very smooth run through that final chicane, setting up his run to the line to start his following lap.
Down now towards turn number 1. You can see this is the longest straight, about 800 meters towards turn number 1. Hit the brakes hard as well. Drift the rear of the car through. Control it through turns 2. Turn 3. It's more difficult in a touring car than it would be in a Formula car or even on a motorcycle, because the car always wants to push you out wide, and in a touring car the tyres, of course, much fatter, so it's more contact packed to the track, which means the drag is even worse to control under braking as well. He's managed to get through turn 4, now down to turn 5, the Seat corner, brake down again, there's a little puff of smoke on the tyre.
Lock up.
And this is downhill now, down towards turn 7 and 8. Little rumble, of course, over the strip there. Now turn 7, this is the 7, now 8 and 9 chicane, up there we go. You start to climb back up, the car wants to lose control at the rear. We've seen numerous accidents. Turn 9, as you say, campus, flat out, control the inside, drift it wide, all 4 wheels over the white line, but who's counting? Back down. I don't know if this is the new turn 10 or the old turn 10. I'm sure I'm about to find out.
It's the old
one. New one. No,
it's the new one. You're right.
Yeah. Just it's
the new old one.
Yeah,
because the F1 used to use this in the 90s.
And then they went back to it, didn't it? It's the hybrid of the two, and I think it works much better. In fact, I don't like the chicane at the end of the lap. It spoils the fun. As you can see, MotoGP decided to even abandon it as well. They used the chicane for a couple of years after Lewis Salon was tragically killed, but they've managed to do some modifications to the track, which means it's safe enough.
This time by Eric Neath at the last corner, but he's set 2 purple sectors, and I think the last one may be purple as well.
He took
a really good opening lap by Eric Neath then. Let's see what those behind can do. 1:55.2, so these touring cars not setting F1 level times, naturally. But let's see what the guys behind. Mounier, let's just say his first lap, 1.5 seconds behind. So yeah, they're really struggling at the moment to match the base time that Eric Neath has set there. Lewis, Sutherland and Homewood, and now Schoenman crossing the line.
Where did he jump up to? P6? No, P7. And yeah, the 22's going to P6 as well, 2.6 seconds off the pace, but it's still Neath on top. That's a strong performance out there at the moment.
And a strong lap by Valente, actually, to get himself in between Mounier and Lewis. So, Hunter Birch Simulation looking good for a top 3 start at the moment with the number 82 as Skazbolix. And actually, Pires sets a brilliant time there, Francisco Pires. So I did see set a good first sector. He was within a tenth of Eric Neath in the first sector on that lap, actually. And the Fring Bond white machine, although the only bit that's white is the little end plate on the rear wing there, on the number 444, but it says number 15 on the side of the car, which is admittedly slightly confusing. As Pires goes back to the pit lane. So, Neath, only about just under half a second ahead of Pires, so it looks like Pires and Neath are in a little battle of their own, and then Mounier not too far behind. Then it's Valente. The big question mark is Ben Gilhead's not got his lap in yet, so no wonder he's not in there yet. But I would be very surprised if Sven is not in the top 3 by the time this next 9 minutes is elapsed, Josh. Anyway, Schoenman completing his lap. It's personal best, of course, but...
Oh, sorry, my mic was on mute.
Oh, yeah, I assumed you'd gone away.
No, I was there.
Forgot to tell me. Anyway, there's Lewis completing another lap. Was that a little better? He's improved to like 1.2 behind But that's enough to get in front of Valente, I think, and Munia. Oh, Nassim Alawai. We did see at Brands Hatch setting a he nearly won that first race, didn't he, at Brands Hatch, before him and Sven came together at the last corner in slightly controversial circumstances. I think Nassim said afterwards, "Oh, it was a good thing there weren't real points on offer for that. Otherwise, he'd been a lot more upset." But
I've had a slight power failure up here in the box Ed. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you fine, Josh.
Lovely. I'll do some double checking as to what is going on because got numerous power issues. So sorry if I dip in and out. I think it should be fixed now.
We're just looking at Alawai on a lap. He's slightly down on his personal best in the first sector, but he's got the two Fringer Bond cars up ahead. So I have a feeling this is going to be a bit of a big ask for this to be his. Oh, he slides at the rear into turn 7 and 8.
My goodness.
So, yeah, really pushing hard. But Aloe, sorry, he did correct me on that because he does love to listen back to these streams and then make fun of me for mispronouncing his name. So Aloe letting the rears hang out a little bit, but thankfully avoiding disaster and avoiding the back of number 13. I believe it's not Perez, is it? No, Perez is just behind. So it would be Homewood, probably, or Schoenman. No, Schoenman.
Schoenman's out there as well at the back.
Has just set the fastest lap of anyone. 3 tenths faster than Eric Neef. So there we go. We were worried about Sven, taking a while to get his lap in. And almost immediately he bangs in an amazing lap there. 154.877. And I think last sector was really strong, 39.3 there. I think that might even be a purple last sector.
Desperately trying to hold on. What was that thing I said? Cautiously, wildly accelerating yesterday. So pretty much going, oh, look at that. Is that gear hold on top? Yes, gear hold's gone quick.
That's what I was just talking about.
Sorry, Ed. You are right. You are right.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I don't have any excuse to misunderstand or mishear you because I'm hearing you echoing in my ear. So
oh, right.
I've got 2 opportunities if I missed the first time.
I'm having a nightmare trying to see everything. Hopefully, I can see it now as well.
6 minutes left then.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Okay. That looks like Eric Neef has had lap times deleted there because now it's showing Alloy in second.
And if
so
that
he
lap
must have
time's
cut
gone,
the chicane.
Yeah, he must have cut the chicane. If that lap time's gone, that's a real worry going back into the forward. I've now got, I'm delighted to say, the stream up on a computer that I can actually reliably see. So, Ed, you are no longer having to put up with me in a difficult situation.
Yeah.
So
Ed, describe what's going on so I can describe what's going on.
Yeah, basically.
It's kind of the commentary that eats itself, as we look at the other Hunter Simulation driver, Eric Kamedi, negotiating the chicane in the number 7 machine.
Look at that.
Oh, the rear stepping out. So, I did ask Eric pre-season, which car do you want to drive? And he said, without hesitation, the Subaru. And he certainly learned how to drift the Subaru. But down in 13th at the moment, he will be hoping to catch his teammate Valente in 8th. As we see a yellow flag in the final sector, which clears. So it could be, I've seen a lot of drivers running just a little bit wide.
Yeah, so
it might not be something too much to worry about.
A few others then coming in, 4:55 to go on the board. Only Conrad hasn't set a lap time.
It's showing Bruce Duncan, Adam Varga, and Titus Conrad. All yet to set laps. Akos Farrago.
5 seconds off the pace.
He's showing me as the last guy, last driver rather, because we have had female drivers in the ERC before, but not in this race, unfortunately. But Farrago is the last driver to set a time at the moment, which is he set 2 minutes .1, which is about 5.2 off the pace, or off the pole time anyway. Look
at this lap time here from the X-Power Racing of Christian Lewis.
Well, he's on an outlap.
Yeah, he was still he was still quick through the last chicane. He was really throwing it through a lovely line. Now let's see what he's going to do.
I think has really got to grips with this MG. It looks set up very well, doesn't it, Josh?
It does. It's not bouncing around at all. It's quite bumpy.
I'll tell you who else has got it set up well. Eric Neef, who's just done a great lap and then gone back to the pit lane. 0.327 behind Geelhead. So About the same lap he did before, actually. Not a big improvement, though.
Look at Conrad. He's jumped up into P5. He's only a second off the pace now, Gearhold, but he's jumped right up there. As here's Christian Lewis then in the X-Power Racing. First sector time coming up. You'll get it at the crunch point. I think it's down at turn 4. Oh, yes, it is a turn 4, look. And he's up.
Ooh.
Sector 1.
Fastest of anybody, Josh.
Is that by
So
2,000?
the number 5 X-Power Racing car really speeding around the Barcelona circuit. But look what he's got ahead. One of those troublesome Ring of Honor racing cars.
Oh, it's always the troublesome ones, isn't it? They're always going to try and find their way out of this one. Keep it calm and back on the accelerator. Now watch it turn 7 and 8. Look. Oh, he's messed it up. Too much power. Too much wheel lock.
Yeah, he saw the Ring of Honor car mess up in front of him and then almost went straight on in sympathy there a little bit. So this is it could still be a better time, but he's edged away to Geelhead there.
Sector 2's down here at turn 10 into the braking zone, and he's down by 1 point.
1 second. Yeah, lost a whole second there. Mistakes like that really costly in a touring car, Josh. You might get away with going a little bit wide in maybe an open wheeler, but in a touring car with the speed differential, if you go for a fast corner and you go a little deep into it like that, then it's much harder to recover, in my opinion.
Got a slow car now right at the exit, the 125, and Lewis, I think, has already backed off at this lap time. I mean, look, 10 seconds to get from here to the
Simonite, Ruben Simonite, just slowing to let the others through, I think, because he hasn't set a time yet. With 2 minutes to go, so you've got to think Simonite, Duncan, and Tranquil. Simonite has set a lap time now, about 4 seconds off the pace, but yeah, it's Duncan, Varga, and Tranquil who are yet to set any kind of time, representative or otherwise. As we look at Valente venturing back onto the track. Valente has dropped now. Where is he actually? 11th actually, so just outside the top 10.
Closing
and the big target really for Valente is to sneak into the top 10 and finish somewhere around there for the first race, because then he can get reverse grid pole for the second race, which could be really playing to his advantage. We saw that when I was commentating in SRL. Oh, as you see Valente letting the rear hang out into the final chicane.
These Subarus are fantastic little cars. Look at this. They really are jumping around, aren't they? In the British Touring Car now, exiting the last corner, fire it to the line, and it's the outlap. So yeah,
oh no wonder.
Perfect start.
He's warming the tyres up, Josh.
That's what he's doing, yeah. Perfect start there. This will be his last quali lap. 2-minute lap time. It's taken quali a little bit longer, hasn't it, to get everybody in. Half hour, 2 minutes each, so around about half the lap times. Look at the rear locking though through turn 1. He is drifting that Subaru. It'll be a problem when he reaches turn 4, even turn 5. It's downhill turn 5.
Yes, and Bruce Duncan, he had to set a time in number 99, still in the pit lane, so Bruce Duncan almost certainly going to start near the very back. But Varga, Tranquil apparently out there, trying to get at least a lap on the board, which should put them level with maybe Simonite. Who's only about a tenth away from Farrago as we switch to Lewis at the end of his lap. Oh, just getting it in time for the chicane there. I thought for sure he was going to miss it or go deep, but he set a personal best middle sector. Let's see if this can get him into the top 8 as somebody went up the board there. Who was that, Josh? Oh, it was Lewis. He's gone up to 5th.
Lewis 5th, yeah. And is it Piers or... Oh, he spun! He spun!
Well, yeah, he's had enough. There's no time. Well, there might have been time to get another lap in. But who's that? That is Conrad.
P5.
He's snatched 5th away from Lewis, right there at the left there. So that is quite impressive.
Brilliant that time there from Titus Conrad to go to P5. But Gearhold has got a hold on this at the moment. Saz Bollets goes into P10.
Nobody really lighting up the timing screen, but a couple of people improving.
Have you got the timing screen?
Yes. Should I have sent you the link to the live timing, because it's very similar to the one. I'll send it to you after this quali session.
Obviously, yeah.
Because I'm busy managing all the cameras and stuff at the moment as we look at Skaz Bollocks, who seems to have secured 10th. Is anyone still on the lap there? Alawi is just finishing, because it's such a long lap in these touring cars. This Valente goes up to 5th for Hunter Birch Simulation.
Yes!
Wow. So what a debut qualifying session there. As Alawi powers towards the line. Can he get near pole position? No.
Well,
in fact, he's starting a lap after the flag has come, so that's it really. Is Eric Neef still out there on a lap? Oh, that's a bit wide. So is he going to be able to beat Geelhead's time? He's the only one who could, really. But I don't know why we doubted Geelhead as we look at Neef. Sets the purple middle sector. So this could actually be a very, very competitive lap time as McHugh snatches third from Nassim Alawi. So Thomas McHugh finally getting a brilliant run in there. He was sort of struggling for most of that session. But here comes Eric Neef. Through the last sector then. Tricky and technical. He's got to get this hooked up. Bouncing over the curb. First curb, second curb, third curb on the exit. And now it's just a power towards the line. Has he done enough here to take pole position at the death? It's going down to the wire, Josh. Here we go.
Yes!
Oh, he's done it! Wow! Pole position for Eric Neef and Coach Eric Academy.
That is an astonishing time. What was it? It was a 1:53.953. He's a tenth quicker than Sven Geerhold for Team Iris in 74. That is a special, special time.
Indeed it is, Josh. So, shall we look at the session results then? Because I don't think anyone is left on track. That's all of them. They're all going back to the pit lane then. So this is your grid then. It is Eric Neef on pole position for Coach Eric Academy. And look, only a 10-minute between himself and Geelhead. Thomas McHugh will start third for Team Lev Speed. Quite a way behind Geelhead though in the end. Nassim Alawi just pipped by a 10th by Thomas McHugh. So we got two little battles to look forward to, it looks like. Loic Mounier, second in the Team Iris, of the Team Iris cars, in 5th. Perez is going to start 6th. Alessandro Valente will start 7th for Hunter Burt Simulation. And of course, being completely unbiased, I have no feelings on that whatsoever, positive or negative. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. Titus Conrad behind in 8th. Christian Lewis 9th. And Marius Sederland will round out the top 10. And we can probably very quickly show the next page. Cars 11 through to 20. It's Maximilian Petravki in 11th, Nick Homewood 12th, Lovas Skazbolix in 13th, Peter Schumann 14th, Ben Sporos 15th, Eric Kumedi in the second Hunter Burt Simulation 16th, Victor Skabados 17th, Egos Farago 18th, Ruben Simonite 19th, Adam Varga in 20th. And we're about to start, so we will have to go back and show you the...
Lights are coming on, I think, Ed.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get the tower up then.
Well, there's one car still waiting to come in, I think.
Yeah, Valente and Petravki still in the pits, it's showing.
Yeah, 3 still in the pits. And I wonder if the lights work this time around. We had that, do you remember, the lights last time didn't work in yesterday's FE race, and we didn't even have the beeps. So, fingers crossed, it's going to be a good one.
Well, it was the angle. We couldn't see the lights. I didn't want to start with an onboard. So it was like, drivers could see it, we couldn't. But it was quite an artistic angle. Let's look at the very back of the grid. Has Dom Tranquil made it? Yes, he has, for SRD. Which is good, because I don't think either of the SRD drivers set a lap. But there they are, at the very back.
Here we go.
Right, the lights coming on then. 3, 2, 1. And the season is going to be underway at Catalonia now! And Geelhead gets away well, but McHugh makes an awful start! And is that Mounier having to go around the outside of him? Oh, as Valente just gets a wheel on the grass there, but he's gained a position, so great start there. But Geelhead clearly ahead in front of Alawi as they get in towards the first turn, Josh. And it's getting a bit bunched up. Oh, no! Going wide.
That's going to be a kamikaze if they're not careful. And Homewood backs off as well. He knew he didn't want to hit the side of his teammate. Boris got a penalty as soon as the lights went out. I can only assume he jumped the start. Pierre's now coming to the inside. He'll have the braking zone coming into turn 4, but it's an Omni Shambles into the braking zone. Who's going to brake first? They've got to be so careful not to bang the wheels and bang the cars as the car round.
That's McHugh in trouble again, Josh.
And he's
going right down the
points.
field.
Oh, that's game over. And look at this. Pierce looking to the inside as well. In the 4-4-4, gets a tap. Into the gravel, goes Viente. And look at that. It all was constant teetering up. As Shanspotto stays into P11. Boris to P12. Kamedi 13th. Varga down. Tranquil's dropped to 20th. And there's a change in second.
No!
Big one.
That's Pierce in the wall, Josh.
Oh, so that's game over, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's much coming back from that. Has Pires got going? There he is.
Yes.
McHugh has also come out of the gravel trap and is challenging Farago for 17th.
I think he I think Pierce just forced Tranquil towards the grass, coming back on. There was ever so slight contact between the two.
Someone off track there in the left speed.
Trying to find out. It's literally spin in Spain, isn't it? Fantastic.
Yeah, you don't need rain in Spain to see cars going around, do you, Josh? As we look at Gieler completing a lap then, with Aloy, surprisingly, just right behind him. But of course, Geelhead has got Mounier right behind to help him out. Let's refresh the overlay because it's not showing anyone below 10th, which is slightly unhelpful for the viewers at home, as Aloy tucks right in the slipstream. He wants revenge, doesn't he, Josh? Here we go, to the inside, into turn 1.
Late on the brakes, he'll get that move done. Can he make this the second part of the corner, though, without going wide? Because this is going to give Gearhold a great advantage coming towards turn 4. Hook the inside into turn 3. Let the car drift out wide, and that will really give you the acceleration. Look, he's already gaining. You can see it coming down towards turn 4.
Nah, I think Aloy's judged that brilliantly there. Geelhead almost slipstream and caught out, but Aloy, only just gets the braking in and lets the rears slide out. So, the lead changes hands then, and Geelhead has now got to worry about keeping those tyres alive for the next 19 minutes and attacking later on, I think. Hasn't got to worry too much about Mounier diving one up the inside, because he'll probably play the team game, unless there's an opportunity, of course. So Valente did lose out to Lewis on that first lap. So the order now is Aloy, Geelhead, Mounier, Conrad, Lewis, Valente, Sederland, Petravki, Skazbolix and Boros, your top 10.
Tranquil's coming to the pit lane, as has Francisco Pierce as well for the Final Von Motorsport White Squad. So 2 cars in the pit lane, rest of the field still circulating, but we've got Farrago and Simontre way behind the field now, 14 seconds behind Varga. So they've had a horrible first lap. They were the cars that got caught up on the back straight.
It looks like Geelhead is tucking into the slipstream. He wants to get his own back on the Sim Aloy as soon as possible. So here we go. What kind of run is he going to get onto the back straight compared to the Vauxhall in front of him? Looks like a decent run. He's in the slipstream, so it's all going to be who breaks latest as Aloy sets fastest lap. Is that beaten by Geelhead? No, it isn't actually. It's 6 tenths slower on that last run, but faster as they approach the corner. Oh, is he going to go for it? No.
He's too far back. He thought about it, but I think he's thinking long game.
Aloy
Look how
being
close
really
he is.
aggressive on the tyres, though.
Yeah, you can see them smoking, can't you, around the rears? But look how close he is through turn 3 as well. If he can hold this all the way, turn 5 is a great opportunity of overtaking. Turn 4, it sort of lends itself for an inside manoeuvre, but it's got a double apex. Here's apex 1, the car drifts out wide, and then you've got to hook it back up for apex 2. That leads you back down the hill to the braking zone for turn 5. Now's your opportunity to send it up the inside, as a little bit wide there for Alakwi. Gearholt's going to try and follow him through. Now down towards this kink at turn 6 as well. That bridge, it's a metal bridge, and the noise of the cars reverberate on it. The vibrations you feel when you stand on it, it's like you've been hit in the back by a cricket bat. It's fantastic. And look how close they are through turn 9 at Seat.
Yeah, there we go. He's got a great view of the rear bumper. And Aloy in that bright blue car, as blue as the sky. Let's hope Geelhead doesn't send him into the sky here as he goes for the outside.
That's a brave move. And it didn't work out, but it's not too deep.
He goes straight on. Oh, fabulous. A mistake there. You said Geelhead pressured him into that one. And look at the different compounds as well. I should have mentioned this earlier, but Geelhead on the softer compounds and Aloy on the harder compound.
Yep, using the Dunlop tyres. So, for those of you familiar with the British touring cars, yellow tyre is the softer compound, the white tyre is the harder of the compounds. And look at that big chunk there taken for Alakri through the chicane at 16-17. Christian Lewis in front. That's Conrad who's moved on to P4. He also got a clip on the rear as they hurtle back down now towards turn 1. 16 minutes to go of this race, and it is still anybody's guess because they are actually tightly packed. For a touring car race, it has sort of three folds to it. You get the start, then you get the middle part of the race, which is just exciting, and at the end, when all the tyres start going off, it's who's ever saved them the best that will have the attack at the end. It's a very fast championship, and even though we're on a Grand Prix circuit, it doesn't matter. We race at Donington on a full layout, Brands Hatch, we used to be F1 Grand Prix circuit, Silverstone in fact as well, Snetterton on the 300 layout. They are incredible racing on racetracks that are deemed FIA Grade 1 and Grade 2.
Oh, look at this. Farrago trying to go around the outside of, that looks like Simonite. They're battling here for 18th position. And Simonite holds on there. Really late on the brakes. But like you were saying, Josh, the problem with these Grand Prix, you got turn 3 here. That you see these two just going through now. Such a killer on the inside right front. And the rears as well, for that matter. So it's really going to be a matter of Aloy saving his tyres now, mounting an attack later on. As there's another battle here. Look at this.
Wow!
Says Bollocks, and that looks like Ben's Boros.
Yeah. Is it
just
Boros?
gotten in front of around the outside there. So great stuff by Lover Skazbolix there as he holds on to 8th position.
I don't think Boros has taken his penalty yet. What lap are we on? He has to do it in 3 laps.
Here we go. That looks like Boros. Oh, going very low and into the gravel there.
Well, that's put paid to his afternoon. A penalty at the start. We can only presume for jumping it because the lights went on and he immediately got a penalty. He'll have to serve it this lap. And now there'll be tyres will be dirty as well. It's going to be feeling horrible in there.
Yeah, absolutely. So it goes from bad to worse for Boros as McHugh recovering gets back in front. So we should keep an eye on Thomas McHugh recovering from his horrible start. The first lap from hell, really. And gaining places as into the pits goes Boros, quite sensible now to bail out at this point, really.
I'll be for his drive-through, running for the 3 laps. This is the third and final one he could do on. If he didn't, he would have got a more severe penalty as they come through. And Thomas McHugh, P12, just set a personal best.
As Loic Meunier is fallen into the clutches, I think, of Titus Conrad. Here they are. And meanwhile, Aloy's still half a second behind Geelhead. So anything could happen there. I worry about switching to some of these other battles, actually, because Aloy is right behind. Here we go, looking to the outside, almost, but didn't quite have the overlap there. So Aloy making the best of these harder tyres. And is that Conrad going for a move in the background? He thought about it.
He was just dangerous, wasn't he, at the back? He was looking for one downhill. And now through turns 7 and 8, a little bit more road being used by Gearhold. Alacqui will now have to take this one flat out. I'm looking, he stayed in 5th gear. He kept it on the throttle as well. You can see with the dashboard now, it all lights up. Look how much slipstream he's got. He's staying 5th into the braking zone. Now pulled 6th gear as further back.
It's Valente going for the outside on Lewis. He's done brilliantly to keep with him. And Hunterberg Simulator. Oh!
Well, to be fair, what was he supposed to do there? He had to make the corner. It was Lewis making an own error.
Yeah, I don't think there was really anywhere for Valente to go there other than off track. And so he bumped into the side, didn't really have enough time to react. And we look on the wheel, is the steering damage? It looks okay to me. But Valente, even when you look at it, he's through up into 5th place on the debut of Hunter Simulation. But Conrad up ahead, continuing to pressurise Loic Meunier. I wonder if Meunier is saving tyres for the end.
Has to be.
Because we've got Gearhead leading.
Look at Conrad's wheel. Look at Conrad's wheel. It looks like it's ever so slightly bent compared to the rest.
No, it looks about the same as Valente to me. As we look at, look at that battle up ahead. I want to look at that. As Aloy closes it, you can't pick between the two, can I?
You're not hearing me laugh, are you, as well? Because I've been coughing when I've been pressing my mute button.
I'm hearing you laugh twice. Which is not as bad as me laughing once, I guess. But there's Aloy. He's laughing now. He looks to the inside of turn 4. Oh, and just about slows it in time to not barge into Geelhead.
How did they not touch? Look at this. Turn 5, though. This is what I keep going on about. Trying to get a good slipstream run. He's touching the back as well as his yellow and sector 2. Trying to find out why. Can't see anything at the moment. Christian Lewis, I think, was in contact.
Sutherland has got by into 5th position past Valente and Lewis. So something bad's happened here.
Oh dear, what has gone
on? That's a lapped car between the two, so...
Right. That would be Francisco Piers, wasn't it? It'd be Piers, wasn't it? Just because he's out of the running after those pit stops.
Yeah, he's made 2 pit stops. He's 2 laps down now. As we've got a great view of both battles here, for third and for first. And it looked like Conrad was having another go there. Down the inside. He might have him here, Josh.
He's on the accelerator. Turn 12, though, is a tricky one. It cuts back on you. Do not underestimate it, or you'll end up in the gravel. It's got a nasty bump on the outside, and they just kept it together. Oh, he's down for the inside. Do not overtake at the chicane.
That was never going to work. Status did the right thing there, I think, backing out.
The chicane would never work for an overtake. It's too much of a single file situation, which is why everyone wants to get rid of it. But now down the start and finish straight as well, past the Cathedral Grandstand. The noise reverberates there fantastically, and you can barely hear yourself think. So I'm sure the virtual fans are enjoying it here today as well. Conrad's really on the attack now. He'll have to send it to the inside.
Oh, but look up ahead.
There's contact between the leaders.
Alloy was on the outside there. It was always going to be a bit difficult, and Gil had held his line, and that's really all he's got to do for the next 10 minutes as we look behind. Mounier in trouble. Conrad's got the inside into turn 3, and it's getting spicy behind, actually. The Frino Bond really holding each other up and allowing Valente to get back into the fight for 5th position.
This is what we love to see with touring cars. Action wherever you look, and that was a brilliant one. Look at that from Valente. He's trying to get through now on the lap traffic. And can Alexandro get ahead? Not being biased at all, but
yeah, Sedland's got through,
4.
but Valente hasn't. So is Perez going to be used tactically here? No, he lets him through.
And he's in the gravel.
On the brakes there, and Perez goes into the gravel, which kind of sums his day up perfectly.
Yeah, I've got some of that gravel. I could probably give him that as an award for the worst race 1 of the year. Actually, it's gravel from that part of the track, actually, in my little collection. So that's no new territory for him after such a miserable race. And this is Tranquil down in 21st position.
It doesn't look very tranquil.
Yeah.
Look how much he's locking up, Josh.
He's biased is wrong, isn't it, on the car? The brake bias is all wrong, and it's going to be flat spotting the tyres like mad as they come through. Oh, Pierre's going off there as well. It's all
Valente's got by.
Oh, yes, so he has. And it's
but he's on the outside, Josh.
Push. Got the corner. Come on.
Oh, Sedland almost makes contact there, but he's got the inside here. Valente's going to have to be brave to pull this one off. Oh, now he's got the inside into the chicane. Oh, is Sedland going to play fair here? Oh, they just about avoid contact. And Valente's through.
Beautiful.
Wow.
And they're still going at it. This is like Lorenzo and Rossi in 2009. And they're side by side of the line. They're still going to be side by side down towards turn 1. Vianti gets ahead. Beautiful driving between the two of them. I've never seen car racing side by side in the chicane. They're back at it through turn 1. But he backs out of it. That is incredible. I have never seen cars side by side at that chicane ever. Brilliant.
Starting to really, what's the opposite of regret? Hiring Alessandro Valente to drive that car as Alloy takes the lead from Geelhead. Oh, he's got the inside. And Geelhead's really going to have to fight to hold on to this one, isn't he, Josh? There we go.
He's going to go wide, though. Aliquid touches the back bumper. But somehow, Gearhard stays ahead. That was a tactful bit of driving there. And I think it must be the difference between the two compounds.
Yeah, the soft's starting to wear here. As Homewood actually having a little battle with Skazbolix as we watch this. There we go, he's just gotten through.
Yep, he's up to P9. And there's more drama further ahead. Homewood and Lewis having a battle. Homewood's trying to go around the outside. Lewis has the inside, or is it? It's Skazbolix. It's Skazbolix. Apologies. Trying to go through on the inside. Homewood's on the outside into the chicane at 7 and 9. It's going to drift it out wide. He's going to be compromised by hitting the bollards.
Looked a little bit like Homewood was almost off track there, but he's got the inside. Skazbolic's going to have to be really brave to pull this one off. Oh, and he goes full send around the outside. And Homewood backs off a little bit.
I think if Homewood didn't back off there would have been a big accident. Turn 9 flat out is dangerous. And look at this. It's a three-way fight for the lead.
In this battle, Josh.
Fantastic.
We've got 6 minutes to go. Conrad has kept those tyres alive. Could Alloy and Geelhead potentially be in trouble here? What tyres is Conrad on, incidentally, as we see Peter Schumann in trouble?
Yeah, soft. He's on the softs.
Yeah, well, he's got a great run for the last 6 minutes. He's going to have a great view of the two of them fighting ahead. If anything happens, if Alloy tries a risky move and it doesn't pay off, we could be seeing Conrad on the top step of the podium, and
Put us
neither
on
of them
the
want that.
It'll put us on the podium and our own team as well, but that's a different matter.
Potentially. Valente only about 6 seconds behind.
Do we have the power of race director?
He's pulling away from Sutherland. I don't think we have any kind of powers, Josh, other than to say things and hope that they happen.
Oh, and Chris is just telling me as well that Lewis and Valente made contact. That was about 7 minutes ago. So when we thought they didn't make contact, they did in fact make contact.
Yes, Aloy got the fastest lap, incidentally, 156.087.
Battle is on.
6 tenths faster than Gear, so that was set really early on. So the fuel not having a big effect. It's all about tyre saving at the moment, isn't it?
Tyre saving at this point as well, if you're on the soft tyres, is crucial. The hard tyres are going to come in the next 2 minutes or so for more power. This race is not over yet at all. So hold on as well. There's a little one. There's a big crash at turn 4 and a little one at turn 10 apparently between Lewis and Valente. So that's not great. I hope we're not called to the stewards, Ed, after this one. And Lewis gets a penalty.
There we go. Well, there's no in-race stewarding by the stewards, so this would be a game thing, I assume. He's maybe gone off track a few too many times. It's bad for him, of course.
It's just Aloy, too much. Yeah.
We're starting to see he's under pressure from Conrad more than attacking Geelhead. So Conrad has kept the softs alive, doing the same strategy as Geelhead, and almost on 2 wheels. I think he was on 2 wheels, Josh Aloy, as he's pushing like crazy to keep Titus Conrad behind. But Conrad now well in the slipstream, and now it's just a case of picking his moment. Geelhead will be licking his lips at this because he can pull away now. He's not going to worry about what's happening to Aloy.
He's got him. It's a slam dunk into turn 1, no doubt about it. Break later.
Aloy's going to have to set up for a decent exit here. Oh no, he tried almost to defend, going a little deep there. And now Aloy down to 3rd. And now can Conrad start to make inroads on Geelhead? His last lap, 156.9. Geelhead, 157.0. So pretty similar. Whereas Aloy's last lap, 57.8.
I can't understand how Conrad is pushing his tyres so much and they haven't degraded after they've done around this track as well.
I think
laps.
Petrashki's has gone into the pits, by the way. So
yeah,
there we go. Bad end to the race for him, I think. Incidentally, the other Hunter Birch simulation for those interested, which is Eric Comedy, running down in 14th. There he is, actually, right behind Victor Sabados for HVML team, as Sabados goes right off into the runoff at turn 1. He'll have to get that position back, won't he? Unless he was already ahead. This is a sort of Roman Grosjean situation, isn't it? Where he did that one. Yeah, look at that. That was Comedy really stepping the rears out and losing a little bit of time just before we cut away there. But Eric Comedy is going to continue on. 14th isn't too bad for his first race.
That's acceptable.
Considering he didn't finish any of the test races, so
yeah.
I'm just glad to see him still going. But Valente, very much impressing in the other car. We just saw him going out of shot there. It's Lewis, yet to serve his penalty. He'll be coming in soon, I guess.
I think Comedy will do good in race 2 because it's reverse grid, so that's
it's reverse really top 10, I thought. Unless they changed it. I'll have to look at the rules again. 15,
yeah.
In between.
I think if it'll be reverse top 10 as always, won't it? Yeah, you're right. Oh,
anyway, so there's Conrad. And last lap there, 56.8, 57.1 for Geelhead. So he's chipping away at him. Geelhead, I would be starting to get worried in these last 2 minutes because he's got Conrad, who's man on a mission at the moment.
He's trying to push hard, isn't he? As they come through. And as we've only got a couple of minutes left, yellow in sector 2.
I think it might have been Scavados and Comedy having a little coming together.
Just touching the
there
back.
he is, he's still battling. So let's keep an eye on the Conrad's progress. He's only a second behind now. But Comedy, even closer than that to the back of Scavados. He fancies a top 13, doesn't he? And good on him.
He wants it and get it. Yellow sector 1 out now as well. Can't see anybody slow on my screen, so don't know what's happened there.
And a big shout out, by the way, to Bruce Duncan, who didn't do any qualifying laps for SID, is running in 12th at the moment, just up the road from these two. So, good job by Brucey boy there, as Eric goes really deep on the brakes. Oh, but Scavados even deeper, as Conrad is now 8 tenths of a second behind Geelhead, so we should really focus on that, shouldn't we, Josh?
Yeah, because this is going to be crucial now. Conrad's really saved the tyres, and he's pushing now down towards turn 10. The long,
but he's only got a minute left.
Last lap, though. It'll have to be a last
Yeah.
lap dive. This is going to be MotoGP again, isn't it? I can
Indeed.
feel it. That last lap with, last lap with Lorenzo and Rossi in 09. Look at this. He's tailgating him. He's going through, and he's going through.
Into the
and
side, and he
contact.
spins! Oh, that didn't work out for Titus Conrad. Just a little bit too ambitious. And now Alawi is going to be right behind him, at least temporarily.
That didn't
But,
work,
that could
Titus.
be
You hit the wrong part of him, my friend.
Yes, exactly. He really needed to hit the back rather than the front in these sort of touring cars, don't you?
And this is going to be the last lap, and that is going to be a contentious moment, possibly. Race 1 ending in drama, but race 2 coming up is going to be even more exciting.
Well, there we go. Speaking of excitement, there's Komedi. He's not finished the penultimate lap yet. And the timer will probably run out before they do so, but the race ends when Gielhead, or whoever is in first place, crosses the line. And Komedi, really, he's going to try it himself, is he? No, he thinks better of that.
Time's up, last lap.
There we go, so Conrad 2.7 behind. He's got... Oh, there we go, he's trying to do the switchback at the chicane. This is braced up by Komedi. Oh, they make a bit of contact and he almost sends.
He does!
Skabados into the gravel. Skabados goes
Oh.
round and spins on the straight. Oh, and that's a bit dangerous, but he gets going again before Ben Sporos comes along. But Komedi... Oh, is he going to be in trouble for that one, Josh?
I think
hope
so.
not.
I think he would. I hope he isn't. On a biased note, but personally, I think he
and
might
Thomas
be.
McHugh, he's pushed so hard to recover those places, and now he's got Bruce Duncan all over him. So this isn't over yet, but Sven Gielhead will be coming through the finish soon. Conrad pushing like crazy to make up for lost time, but I don't think there's going to be enough space left on the track for him to catch up. I think Gielhead is going to cross the line too. At least a second margin ahead of him. As McHugh loses out to Duncan. There we go.
Oh!
And
What a
Komedi fancies a go at Thomas McHugh as well, but McHugh coming back at Bruce Duncan down the inside, and we can't focus on this too much because Gielhead coming through, and Komedi
He's got
going
it.
through on Bruce Duncan.
To the line, though. We've got the race winner coming across the line.
There we go, through the final chicane then, and Sven Gielhead. We thought he'd do well, and he's held off some brilliant assaults from behind from Alawi and Conrad, but there we go, and Gielhead wins race 1 in Barcelona. Conrad will be second, Alawi third, and that was Simonite just making sure he didn't have to cross line, and Moynier closed on Alawi near the end there. So next will be Valente, he's fighting with Sutherland. There we go, and he's just got through at the final corner.
Top 5! Top 5! Take that! Yes!
Oh, brilliant by Alessandro there, just holding on from Sutherland, and McHugh. Oh, there we go, it's all gone wrong there for McHugh. He spun
More
around there,
contact!
Komedi spinning as well.
Oh.
Oh, it all ends in disaster then. The Eric
And-
Komedi,
oh,
Thomas
and
McHugh, and
that's-
Varga. Oh, they're all spinning.
Has Varga No, Varga hasn't taken the flag yet. That's an annoyance.
Yeah, so next will be Schumann. We'll round out the top 10 then. Ahead of, behind Sutherland, it was Homewood,
Lewis is
Skazbolik,
10th.
Schumann,
Lewis
and
got
Lewis
10th.
in 10th.
Wow. I'm going to have to leave, Ed, unfortunately, but that was a great first race. Hopefully you have fun in race 2. And, Eric Komedi comes home in 15th place, gets the last point. That's great news, but what a great race. Thanks for having me. And, Ed, good luck for race 2, guys. See everyone later.
Thanks very much, Josh. So, let's take a brief look at the race 1 results then. Of course, remember, this is going to form the grid for race 2, the reverse grid race. So there we go. Sven Gielhead takes victory from Titus Conrad, Nassim Alawi third, Loic Mounier in 4th, Alessandro Valente 5th. Brilliant for Hunter Burt Simulation on their debut, of course. Totally unbiased from my end. Mario Sutherland just missed out. Down in 6th in the end there. Christian Lewis 7th. Nick Homewood 8th. I'm not sure why there are 2 7th places here. Gazbolik's 9th. Peter Schumann will finish 10th. Someone may have been excluded from the post-race results there. Bruce Duncan finishes 11th in the end. From Ben Sporos, Thomas McKee 13th, Victor Skabados 14th, Eric Komedi 15th, Akos Farago 16th, Maximilian Petravsky 17th, Adam Varga 18th, Ruben Simonite 19th, Francisco Perez down in 20th, and I believe there we go. Dom Tranquil failing to finish, I believe, and down in last. So. We now have, I assume, a brief warm-up before we jump into... Oh, sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot to turn it off there. Still going through the race results. So, race 2 coming up as soon as possible. And when it does, we will probably see... I assume it's going to be Lewis on after his penalty, finishing down in 10th. We'll start on reverse grid pole. Let me take a brief look at the rules. I'm pretty sure it's top 10 that get reversed. Could be wrong on that. Lewis is 10th after penalty apply, so Overlay had a... Sorry if we were lagging earlier, by the way. I didn't have any time to check that. Let's have a look down here. No, that's not rules and regs. There we go. So, grid set by reversing results from race 1, and there's no success ballast to worry about until the second round, which I believe is Nordschleife. So it's a complete reverse grid, so I believe Tranquil will probably get to start on pole. So it's not just the top 10. Means Gearhead will be starting from the very back of the field. Interesting to see how that goes. Either the server get reset. Have a little look, see if get co-commentator around now that Josh has got other commitment. Apologies for the small screen, ladies and gentlemen. See if we can sort that out. Put my hands away from the screen and do nothing, which usually sorts out every problem. Alright, there we go. So, server waiting for everyone to take part in the warm-up, I guess. After that, we will very quickly be into race 2 then. I don't think anyone else is around. Oh. Sorry if I sound a bit disjointed, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't have anyone to really talk to at the moment. Reacting to things and sounding a bit stop-start. It's certainly interesting to talk to the drivers after race 2. They're on track at the moment. Oh no, that's not true actually. There we go. Perez and Meunier. And we've just been joined in the commentary box by one of the race stewards, race director, Chris Tompkins.
Hello.
Pretty crazy first race there, Chris.
Yeah, proper touring car race, I'd say.
Ah, indeed. And, let me just, hold on. I'm gonna see if I can mute you on my end, so I'll just hear you through the stream computer. So, Chris, after all that chaos in race 1, it's going to be a complete reverse grid, as I understand. So, Tranquil will be on pole, and Geelhead will start at the very back.
Nick's thing.
Yeah, I was trying to mute on my end, and that just muted you completely. So I'll just have to deal with what I did with Joshua, where I just hear you echoing constantly. That's fine. I have to hear myself, so it makes sense I'd hear the rest of you voice as well. It's different when it's not your own voice, and you have no control over it. Anyway, sorry about me being a control freak there.
You want local mute, not mute.
Ah, okay. I might be just my all mumble. Somehow it's muting. I think people on the stream could still hear you there when you were speaking there, Chris, but I couldn't, which was a bit confusing.
Yeah. But as far as I'm aware, I think it's just top 10 that changed, isn't it?
Oh, okay. Because I looked at the rules and it just said reverse grid, so
I have no idea.
I don't know if that means top 10.
This is 100% next championship. It might be running the endurance calendar, but it's 100% next championship.
Okay, so I'm sure Nick will. Where did Nick finish? What was it, 8th or 9th? So he'll make it so it's only the top 8 or 9. I have to do reverse grid. Whatever gives him the best chance, I'm sure. So somebody opened up a beer there. I guess it's that time of the evening. Anyway.
Have a look at the rules. The rules probably will explain.
I think the rules did literally just say reverse grid. So we'll just see where they end up being put. I'm sure that's what Nick is doing at the moment. I'm certainly very happy to see my team getting a top 5 finish in their first ever race. Certainly some brilliant moments to commentate on. Great that my co-team owner and co-commentator Josh could be there to see that. With Alessandro Valente.
It
on a great
says,
show.
Says reverse grid from race 1, so it might be everyone.
Okay, that sounds to me like everyone.
Yeah, I think it is everyone.
So it would be Tranquil on pole then. From Perez, I think. That might have been why they were visiting the pit lane so many times to ensure that they would be on reverse grid pole.
Tactics.
Yeah, there we go.
They get their 1 point for finishing, and then the rest are just tactics.
We could be seeing grid forming up very, very soon.
Well, Titus has just been put in position 21, so...
Oh, Titus. But Titus was finished second.
Yep.
Oh,
so
that's why,
he'd be 22nd. Okay. 21 out of 22. So yeah, it looks like it's the full grid.
I have to wonder what will happen if someone joins in between the two races. I'm pretty sure we only have 21 drivers, so... on the timing screen.
Yeah, there is only 21, so someone's left.
Here it is. That game where they put a bunch of objects on a tray.
I guess
5 seconds to memorize them.
Yeah.
And then they put the wall back over, and you have to remember. They take something away, and you have to remember what the missing thing is.
Oh, it's Tranquille. Isn't
it's Dom.
Isn't in the server. Yeah.
Okay, well he can't start on pole then, can he?
No, that is confirmed.
If he's not in the server, logically. Oh, there we go, he's back in now.
There we go, so yeah, I'll be back now.
Back there he is, just going out onto the circuit for, I assume it's a minute or two of warm-up. There's a reverse group pole setter, ladies and gentlemen. And as we said, Bruce Duncan, Thomas McHugh and Eric Comedy getting in a brilliant fight there near the end. It was a shame we were so distracted by the leaders crossing the line that we missed some of the action.
everything happened in the last like 10 seconds because I was watching it just out of interest because not only is this a good championship, it's also a good takedown for the endurance stuff. Because obviously, following the endurance calendar, we can spot issues with like the tracks and stuff before we hit on the endurance calendar.
Well, it's nice to have somebody be the guinea pig, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you get good racing, and the endurance people get some track testing.
Yeah, we certainly got that. And you thought race 1 was action-packed as we look at Tranquil lighting up the rear tyres there as he gets on the brakes for SRD. But if you thought race 1 was something, then just wait till we get to reverse grid as Tranquil takes a little off-track excursion. I'm not sure how long Dom is gonna. Oh, as he takes out one of the Von cars.
Just dies.
That's the number 15. Is that Perez? It is. Yeah. Oh dear. Perez already in the wars today, thanks to contact over driver. So he'll be hoping that doesn't happen to him again. So I think those two are going to start on the front row, aren't they?
P22.
So those are going to start on the front row. So
yep, that's going to be interesting. The Vauxhall at the start of race 1 just didn't get a good start at all, did it? The one that just didn't move.
Yes, that was what really did it for McHugh and put him into contact range, basically. And there's a shame because I thought Thomas McHugh was doing a decent recovery and then got into a bit of trouble in the ADS. Still squeezed through to 12th or 11th in the end, didn't he?
Yeah, it was around that. I guess we'll find out.
I guess at maximum 6 minutes of warm-up left. That's all we got to fill.
Let me just message Nick, ask if we're doing the full warm-up or not.
It's nice to hear your keystrokes as well. It really adds to the commentary.
Yeah. It should.
Really shows you took a lot of care setting up when you downloaded Mumble this morning.
I had my voice gate set so that it didn't pick up, and now it's picking up, so...
I guess it's only annoying for me because I'm hearing you echoing. So I'm hearing double keystrokes, so it makes it even more obvious. Yeah, the keystrokes aren't as bad as the repeating dialogue. Or echoey dialogue, I should say. Sounds like everyone's in a tunnel.
Only my top row that it picks up.
Okay.
I clearly need to slightly adjust the noise gate.
We're really digging for stuff to talk about, aren't we? While the warm-up continues. There's Geelhead circulating. He'll be looking to make it 2 in a row. He's done it before. Admittedly, with lower grids, it's going to be very tricky from the very back for Geelhead to get back into first position again. I have a feeling Geelhead will be able to finish top 5. I don't think he's going to finish in the top 2, though. I think that might be... There are too many guys ahead that are too competent. Well, not that I consider any driver in this championship truly incompetent.
As Christian Lewis has crashed in the pit lane.
Oh dear. Christian had a really tricky race, didn't he? Getting that penalty.
He was busy.
Yeah. Great fight, though, with the likes of Alessandro Valente. And, of course, as we look at Titus Conrad, who was in a fight with him, just coming out ahead. Conrad
doesn't understand how safe releases work.
And he's deliberately holding them up.
Here. What's going on here?
Titus Conrad certainly marking himself out as one to watch. What did you think about the collision between Conrad and Geelhead near the end there?
Bit delay and $1 short from Conrad, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, he really died for it. Sven was already turning, I think. And it's not really a corner where you overtake unless you're already alongside.
If you're alongside there, you can overtake. It's like the last overtaking spot on the track, but you don't send it because you're going to have your nose chopped off.
Yeah, it would have made more sense to wait for the front straight. But I guess he was in a hurry thinking there's only a minute left of this race.
Yeah, that's just inexperience really with the cars or the timings or just being new to sim racing, you know. Sometimes you gotta sit back and relax.
But the good news is, of course, when the success ballast comes in, he'll get slightly less than Geelhead.
Very true.
that could really play its part in qualifying. In the races, I feel like the driver skill may be able to overcome weight penalties because it's more about not making mistakes, essentially. Which, if you've got the most weight distribution on your car ever, there are some tyres where if you just play it well, then you can still score strongly. I think Sven Gielhead's really going to thrive when even when the weight limit comes in. I think he'll still be something to be reckoned with. You look at Lewis continuing to circulate, and the warm-up almost done. 2.5 minutes left.
We are doing full warm-up, I've been told by Nick, so...
Oh.
The grid's actually been ready for the last, 5 minutes, but he wants to run the end of the warm-up.
Steelhead. Giving a hefty kiss to the curb there.
It's amazing how much these cars are jumping on the curbs.
Yeah, they're really... interesting. Some of them are set up to avoid the curbs entirely, and others have... oh, let's ride the curbs and see...
It's going to be interesting, the ones that have learned to ride the curbs and then race in endurance next week. In the prototypes.
I definitely look forward to. How long is 6 hours, isn't it?
6 hours, yeah.
Better get used to Circuit de Catalunya, ladies and gentlemen.
6 hours of bouncing off curbs and flipping over.
Certainly the GTs. We probably be watching. Well, a lot of the drivers in here also compete in GTs. Gielhead being just one example. Runner-up, of course. Won the last 3 races in a row for Iris. Certainly, they will be looking to go one better and overcome Mugen in whatever form, whatever name they want to pick this year.
It is Mugen.
Oh, they're keeping it. Okay.
We made it clear that they can't have other teams that aren't Mugen but are Mugen as well.
Okay. So we're going to see a few new teams then.
So Mugen is Mugen.
Okay. But I believe there was one team that was changing its name. Valet, I think, will be coming back.
I'd have to look at confirmed teams, to be honest. I think they are.
You've got the likes of Paul Street Boys.
We have a full grid, I know that much.
They do, yeah. There wasn't room for Hunter Birch Simulation, so we might enter a bit later in the season. We haven't had that discussion with our drivers yet, whether they want to be an endurance lineup together. But certainly, it was very good of them to take part. And Alessandra having some early strong results. It is championship off to a great start. Who knows? Hunter Birch Simulation is still on the hunt when it comes to the end. As we look at Gielhead having a bit of fun, destroying the rear tyres. Almost looks like the engine's smoking a bit there. But it's just the tyres being crying enough, really, aren't they, through these long corners? The tyre choice could be interesting, because it's going to be... How long is the reverse crew race? Is it 20 minutes or 15?
I think it's the same length, isn't it?
Yeah, it would be the same length then. So they're going to learn from their choices in the first race. I reckon Nassim Alaoui could go for the soft tyres this time because he didn't quite get the best out of the hards. By the end, they didn't quite have the same life in them as the softs did.
Yeah, 22 minutes.
Looks like the grid's forming up then. So we can very briefly...
Someone's already honking their horn.
Okay. Very briefly show the grid order.
That's not annoying.
And that's not it. So don't worry about that. So I guess we won't show the grid order then.
Find out eventually. Loads. For me, everyone's in the same livery.
I think from I was trying to go for session results.
Oh no, it's...
And I didn't have race 2 on there.
You've got same team in 3rd, 5th, and 7th, so I thought my game had broken and showing the same livery.
Yeah. That looks like Varga in 3rd, with Farrago in 5th then. Oh, the horn's going off. Everyone's getting ready.
Oh, the horns are really annoying. Yeah, it looks like the grid's been set.
It's a shame we can't. Remember when DDoS got a penalty in endurance for blowing the horn, and then they won in GD3s at Road America.
We make it very
Kota.
clear to not use the horn, and the reason for that is the driver at the time had his push to talk bound to the same button as his horn.
That was why that happened. It was Liam Rance, I believe. And there we go. Kamadi joins the grid, and he was the last one. So the timer will be showing up in a second. Tranquil on the left, and Francisco Perez on the right then. Can they redeem themselves after a difficult first race? Here we go. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And race 2 will be underway at Barcelona. Oh, and Tranquil didn't actually get... As Duncan is in the pits already, so he's not going to start the race. Oh, as Tranquil almost gets hit by Varga.
Yes, there it is.
Oh, and he does! Into the wall goes Dom Tranquil, and he swerves across the track. Everyone has to avoid him.
Oh, Iris. That was Gearhead.
And Gearhead in the wars. And that is a disaster for him. But it's Petravki who comes emerges in the lead as there's more chaos into turn 1. And Simonai in the middle of that. And trying to go around the outside of Farrago, and I think he's done it there. But he's got Kamei right, that's Valente, who's actually made a really good start and is right behind them. So Schumann loses out to Eric Neef. Oh, he's lost out big time there, spun to the inside, and now he's got Aloy right behind him. Oh, as that was Varga, spun around there, so that's clearly not worked out for him at all. Well, oh, a little bit of a lag there, but Petravki and Perez pulling away from the pack now. This is really kicking off behind. Yeah, there we go. This is sort of what happens in reverse grid. The leaders pull away and then there's a huge fight behind. But I would not bet against Perez trying to move on Petravki before this 20 minutes elapses. As Valente, right behind Eric Neef, looking to make progress here. Oh, a big accident there between Boros and is that Simonite. Yeah, they just went around the outside of turn 9 and both of them coming to grief there. Valente's got Munier right behind him and he goes wide, and Munier is going to go through here. Yeah, he was just following Eric Neef in sympathy. Can he hold on here? Actually, Munier goes wide himself, and that means that Nick Homewood's going to have a look in.
Are they on the same tyres as race 1 or something? Because everyone's sliding already.
It looks like a lot of them have gone for the softs. I haven't got the statistics in front of me. I'm just going by what I see on screen. How far behind is Perez on the main straight? Yeah, Petravki with a big German flag on the top of his Vauxhall. Looking very vulnerable to the Fring of Bond car behind. Here's the Ford Focus. Going to dive up the inside at turn 1. He is. Here comes Perez then. Oh, is he going to get it in time? Oh, he spins himself around and almost spins Petravki round 2. But mercifully recovers there. That was a bit tight there, wasn't it?
That was close. Well held. Definitely.
And Boris lost out to Setland. So, yeah, big fight here as Neef actually starts to close on 3rd position. Neef has made a great, because he would have started, yeah, quite high up the field, wouldn't he? And now he's attacking Scavados. And Valente's got a little train behind him as well, as we see Perez starting to struggle. And here comes Neef up the inside for 3rd. Is he alongside? Is Scavados going to fight that one? He does. He holds on. Impressive.
I think he was just a touch too far back there. Didn't quite have his nose in.
It's really kicking off
it. He does now.
And, Neef is going to try and go around the outside. That's the problem here. He's going to have Scavados on the inside. Is he going to be able to pull across in front of him as we go? Munier and Valente still fighting away like crazy. There we go. So Neef through to 3rd, and someone's gone off there. That looked like Boros, maybe.
I think that's a lapped car, isn't it?
Yeah, is that a Skizbolix? Yeah, he's lost the wheel. So something terrible has happened there. And he looks like to be out of the running.
There's been a simply hideous accident there to lose a wheel.
Yeah, there we go. But meanwhile, the battle for the lead rages on. But Eric Neef is going to be a big threat. He's set the best first sector of the race so far on this lap. But the fastest lap still Petravki, 1:57.4 now. But Perez still right behind. And there could be more battles going on behind. They all slipstream each other down the straight.
Are they going to be send? Yes, there is.
Oh, he tries it again, but this time avoids making contact. Only just as a Homewood in a little battle with Setherland. As Valente passes Scavados. And Scavados goes off into the gravel and then dangerously moves onto the track in front of the Fring of Bond cars.
Oh, that was close.
There we go. So he's lucky escaping away there, but big mistake. Incidentally, you're wondering how is Mooney getting on. He's gone down to 15th here. Where is I'm trying to figure out where our race 1 winner has gone.
And it's around the outside of Lewis. Bit of a slide there. He got back into the slipstream. Looks like a bit of dirty air affected him.
Yes, as Boris gets past Conrad there. Or is that Lewis going past Boris, sorry. And,
Did
you see Geelhead anywhere in the... Oh, he's 10th.
Lines.
So Geelhead, I did think he gained places. He's gone up
Geelhead's
to 10th
got
now,
from 10th,
despite that
despite
horrible...
being murdered before turn 1.
Yeah, it wasn't really a lot he could have done there. But I think Geelhead's still on track to potentially sneak into the top 5 before this ends. As we see Perez, he wants that reverse grid win, doesn't he? It would really make up for what was a horrible first race. Petracchi having terrible luck too. But Valente in 4th. Let's not count him out of this just yet. And not just because I'm the commentator and he's my driver.
I'm here to remove some of the Hunter Birch bias.
No, that's good. We should get an unbiased third commentator in to keep me and Joshua in line. Not get too crazy. Because he was certainly... When you saw Valente going around the outside of, I think it was... Moynier. He was blowing a fuse there, just going absolutely insane. As Neef sets the best lap time, 1:55.7,
like
and that is about 2 seconds faster. So Neef really laying down his claim. And if I was Perez, I'm thinking I need to get by Petracchi sooner or later, and he makes a mistake there.
That's not going to help him.
And that is really going to open it up as Sutherland gets back in front of Homewood. Him and Homewood have been having a great little battle here between the two Fringavons. So Lewis will be looking to take advantage. And Geelhead, where's he? Here he is, still trying to catch up. And that's Conrad in front of him, who looks like he's made a little mistake. So
are we going to see Titus versus Sven?
What's the steering like on Geelhead? Oh, it's all the way to the left. Look at that.
That is what I would call broken.
Yes, Homewood had to deal with that in the Formula E race yesterday, as we see yellow in Sector 1. Oh, that would be Ruben Simonite. And it's look at this, though.
Three-way battle, here we go.
Yeah, looking. He could make 2 moves in 1 here. Perez looks very vulnerable with all those mistakes, and Petracchi doesn't look much safe either.
Will Perez think that the best defense is a good offense?
Oh, here comes Neef down the inside of Perez. Oh, and they make contact there. Oh, and he's going to do 2 of them in 1. I told you he'd try it. And he's on the outside of Petracchi. He's not going to pull it off. But Perez loses second position. There. And Neef, relentless here. There's a sniff of a win, and Eric Neef wants it badly. But we'll have to wait until the end of this lap then. As Petracchi holds on for the time being. Valente closing. I think Valente will fancy a go at the podium here.
I think Perez this is a win-not hit for Neef to be in the lead. Oh, especially as Petracchi makes a mistake in the final corner, hits the inside curb. And Neef is now up the inside as they cross over the start-finish line.
Yeah, and here we go then. EERC Academy looking for their first win of the season. Is Petracchi going to be able to break on the outside? No, he isn't. Eric Neef takes the lead here in Barcelona with 13 minutes left to go.
The Subaru simply just out-dragged the Vauxhall there.
Yes, and there's another Subaru, a bright green one, not far behind either. But Perez now looking to attack Petracchi as Petracchi goes a bit wide at turn 3. He's not quite going to have the run to dive into turn 4. So there we go. The rough and tumble of touring car racing, ladies and gentlemen. The position's changing all the time as a Homewood and Sutherland continue to squabble. And now Christian Lewis wants to go. He's got Boros not far behind either, as Conrad is held on in front of Sven Geelhead. So Geelhead's progress really dented by the damage to his steering. Even a driver like Sven Geelhead cannot overcome Carlos handling that badly. We saw how much he was having to turn to counteract it going to the left, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was significant. That would definitely be a pit and call-in situation there.
Yes, but of course, if he holds on to 10th, he can still get brilliant points. And even finishing 10th and losing points from the championship lead would help, because he wouldn't have the big weight penalty coming into the next race. As Sutherland continued. Look at this with Nick Homewood, so clean as well.
I think there was a bit of netcode contact there, to be honest.
Yeah, but certainly these are the two teammate. Oh no, there's Bring on White And Homewood, who I believe is freeing up on green. It's bright green. And here we go, around the outside goes Sutherland. Brilliant move, but he goes a little bit off track.
It's the sausage
And now
gun.
Christian Lewis is back in with Boros right behind him. So this is very entertaining indeed. We've not been following the fight for the lead at all, with Perez right behind Petravsky. Here we go, and that's Valente looking for a run up to third. Is he going to try it? Here we go. And, oh, just has to back out. That was very defensive
there
from Perez, but that's going to compromise him horribly into turn 1. And now Valente is going to go into turn 3. See if he can complete the move into turn 4 as Homewood and Sutherland continue to squabble. Here we go. It's got almost at the inside. This is aggressive from Perez, isn't it? He really doesn't want to lose the podium. And Valente's going to have to go around the hard way and almost has to stop mid-apex there.
I think he's right on the borderline of hard racing.
Look at Neath pulling away. That's what Valente's thinking about, I think. He wants that Hunter Birch simulation car on the podium, but he's got these 2 cars to clear, really, that he's much quicker than. Look at his best lap, 156.2, and 57.4, 57.1 for Perez and Petravsky. Perez wiggling all over the road there. And look at the gap behind.
And that's put Perez a bit out of line there.
Yeah, certainly. There won't be any in-race penalties, but that doesn't prevent the stewards investigating this after the fact, of course. Hunter Birch simulation. Going to be quite... Oh, there's Skazbolix getting a penalty. So that's Skazbolix, who is down in 20th, who we saw make contact. That's Homewood and Lewis fighting. And Boros gets through all of them. Wow, there we go. Boros up to 6th, so...
I think there might have been a bit of contact
he didn't get past Sutherland, sorry. But there's certainly a bit of contact between...
Lewis.
Yes, Homewood and Conrad really losing out there. Here's Valente going to have another go round the outside here. He's got a brilliant exit and nothing Perez can do unless he tucks into the slipstream here. And he does, actually. And I think that was Petravsky hitting the grass ahead of them.
I can confirm what's just happened between Lewis and Homewood. It was Benz locking up.
And here comes Perez up the inside. Sorry to interrupt you there, Chris.
No, it's okay.
Oh, but Valente just holds on. And Hunter Birch simulation onto the podium with a little tap behind from Perez. But Valente survives and now is free to chase after Petravsky. This is a great showing in the first race for Hunter Birch simulation. But Valente, he's an old pro. He's done these kind of races before. Always excelled, actually, in reverse screwed races, I've found. Nothing to do with me hiring him, of course. Where is the second Hunter Birch simulation car of Eric Kamady? He's retired early. Him and Dom Tranquil retired right at the start. I did think Eric may have been collected there. And Simonite and Sesbolix also in the wars. Simonite is out. Valente.
Yeah. Back to that Lewis accident. It was Benz Boros locking up and spearing Christian Lewis into Nick Homewood there. Massive accident, to be fair. It's amazing the cars are still going. That was right into turn 10. Significant contact.
Yeah, let's hope that Homewood and Boris' steering is okay. Homewood's got his mirrors full at the moment. Yeah, here comes Conrad. Having a little look. Is he going to come through? Nope. So Homewood holds on. That was a shame that Boris and Homewood came together because they were having a great race up to that point with Lewis. Continued. I think Lewis may have been the big loser in this. Let's look at that steering. Yes! Oh no, it's okay. That's just him going for the corner. So he just lost a lot of time then. There's don't forget, Giel has dropped down to 12th behind his teammate Munier. So the steering damage has really impeded him. As Conrad gets a great run. But Valente's also got a great run on Petravsky. There we go, down the inside. And that's Valente up to second place. And I'm loving this. But Petravsky looking to counter-attack up the inside of turn 3. Valente hasn't quite sealed it off just yet. But to be fair to him, he left the door open. And Lev Speed hold on to second, at least for a few corners more. But can Valente hold on around the outside? Oh no, he can't. Through goes Petravsky. And the more they fight, the more Perez will come back into this. And he wants that third place back. As going right to the edge there. But that was brave by Valente to keep his foot in. And there we go, through back up to second. Petravski's still there around the outside, but he's lost the position now, well and truly, to the Hunter Birch simulation car. But now it's 9 seconds to Neef, so Neef is really making hay here. I can't see him losing this one unless Valente does something truly exceptional. And even though he's my driver, I support him and love him dearly, even I think that's a bit unlikely.
7 minutes to go. It's completely possible Neef has been killing his tyres, though.
Sutherland starting to catch up to Pires a little bit as well. So this battle for second and third, not over yet. Crucial now not to make any mistakes in the final 6 minutes of this race.
Nick Homewood has dropped back a bit more. He's now 9th.
Oh, Homewood in the wars then, because he's behind Lewis now. Is the steering okay, or is there more serious damage?
I think there's damage there. Look at the amount of steering having to be put in.
Yeah, it looks like he couldn't get the car turned in because it was going very wide there, and Meunier is going to be on him like a ton of bricks in a moment. Gabados ahead of Gearhead. You don't see that every day. Has the steering gotten worse on Sven Gearhead? He's barely turning in to this right-hander. Let's see, we go on the straight. Yeah, there we go. The steering still irreparably damaged, but Pires right behind Petravski. At least fairly close to. As Conrad continues to chase Boros. So Titus finished second in the first race. Looking for a good result here. Could really get him into the championship lead, couldn't it, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, if I believe Conrad being 7th would put him in championship lead, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, if he can get ahead of Boros.
Gearhead melt in Famer's points.
Yeah, but of course, there'll be the likes of Valente and Neef getting good points out of this as well. As Valente drops to 10 seconds now behind, as Conrad goes up the inside of Boros. Boros really locking up the rear tyres there. The two Subarus do battle, and the Pull Street Boys car looking very vulnerable indeed. Coach Eric Academy looking for a top 6 finish here.
Their horn.
Ooh, that's bad news indeed. Here we go. Got a sense of Titus is going to strike somewhere sooner or later. What can Boros do? His exit here is not great at all. Not great at all. I think this could be the move. How hard is he going to force this one? Titus already up the inside. Boros will have to give way then. Oh, as they both go really, really deep.
Bit of a Rosberg situation there.
Yeah, Conrad just about holds on though. And that's top 6 for the 284 machine. Pires continues to trail Petravski. They've got lap traffic now. That looks like Bruce Duncan in the SRD, because Dom's out, so it must be Bruce. Sedland is not catching Pires as quickly now. Conrad could well start to close on Sedland before the end. We've only got 4 minutes left, so our race leader here, Eric Neef, he's sitting pretty now in first place.
He's 2 seconds a lap quicker than everyone else.
Yeah,
Where's this pace come
with
from?
Sven out of the picture with his damage, it's really played to Eric Neef's advantage. So Valente pulled ahead a bit of Sedland to the tune of 3 seconds now. To Petravski, sorry. Now Sedland's starting to get the tyres rubbered in and close on his teammate.
Yeah, in the hurry up, I think.
Yeah, there we go. So Pires, if he can't quite pass Petravski, he might have to give way to Sedland. We'll see how Fringavon manages. They've got the 2 separate teams, remember. Fringavon White and Fringavon Motorsport White. No, they're both the same team. Sorry.
They are
so
both
they can
the same
actually.
team. This might be a little bit of team orders here in the on Mumble server.
Yeah, we'll have to ask Nick Homewood what he's saying, because Nick Homewood, by the way, has dropped to 11th behind Skabados. So Gearhead Homewood, it's a battle not to finish last of the 2 damaged cars, really, as they continue to fight the mid-pack. The mid-pack performances, it must be said. Thomas McHugh still struggling down in 15th, so another difficult start for him to the season. By such brilliant pace in qualifying, as Lewis loses out to Moynier. Moynier trying to go round the outside of him. Is Moynier going to keep his foot in? Yes, he is. And Iris up to 8th.
2 MGs.
Yeah, there we go. Meunier.
I think Christian has damage from being, his other words, used as a murder weapon.
Yeah, he did take a big whack there. We've got 3 wounded cars in this reverse grid race with 2 minutes left to go. And it's only Lewis still in the top 10, really. Unless something dramatic happens up ahead and we have more wounded cars.
I mean, look at the amount of steering he's having to put in. It's like Nick.
Yes, exactly. As now Perez really under pressure from Sutherland. That's the big battle now. With just over 1.5 minutes left to go. Conrad, who catches 2 before the end. Sutherland's got the inside.
Well, here we go.
And Perez, either that was a mistake or that was a synchronized maneuver there.
The black on the front of the Final One car makes it look like it's missing a body panel.
It does
At the
indeed.
side.
Yes, but the 3 of on cars, apart from Homewood, had a relatively clean run so far. But Sutherland gets up to 4th. I think Marius fancies a go at Petravsky here.
Only a second. He's completely on for the podium here, I think.
And now they've got the lap car in between them. I think that could halt the charge of Conrad between him and Perez.
1 minute to go.
Yeah, Petravsky dropped to 5 seconds behind Valente. Valente 12 seconds behind Neef. So, looking like not only a great win for Eric Neef and the Team Eric Academy, first a podium on debut in their second ever race for Hunter Birch Simulation. We're seeing history in the making, guys. Personal history, admittedly.
I mean, Coach Eric, they've never raced in EERC before. They're getting a win.
Oh, here we go. So we've got 30 seconds left to go. Neef is about to start what will be his final lap as Skabados and Lewis. Lewis losing out again with Skabados getting the switchback. He's going to take the inside here. And the MG can do nothing to defend against the Subaru. So Lewis gamely holds on to a top 10 position. Sutherland right behind Petravsky as they go on to the start-finish straight. And also Conrad
Final
called up
lap.
to Perez. Here we go. Down the inside. What can Maximilian Petravsky do here? Is he powerless?
Bit of a squeeze.
And there we go. It's Conrad around the outside as well.
Yeah, I think he's
But
conceded
through goes
that.
Sutherland into 3rd position. And Conrad's made it through into 5th. It's a crucial points in the championship. That could be enough to see him leave here with the lead. We're on the final lap. Knef is midway through it. And unless something truly bizarre happens, he's well on his way to victory. Petravsky can do nothing to get himself back on the podium, it seems. The Lev Speed driver isn't going to give up without a fight. But he needs to be careful he doesn't lose out to Conrad as well here. It's all kicking off in this 3rd place battle, isn't it? And they're right near the end.
Proper touring car. All happens right at the end.
So, Neef continues for his way to victory then. Only a little bit more to go as... oh, Skasbolix must have put the wheel back on. Still going. As there's Neef. Oh, gets a little drift. The sole mistake I've seen from him in this race so far.
Lady there.
There we go. It's Petravsky in trouble. There's a Kamedi. There'll be commiserations for him, I guess. But Neef, as Conrad was going for the outside there, and he's got Petravsky actually. There we go, around the outside. And Eric Neef battling as hard as he dares to try and get into 4th. Oh, but Petravsky has got the outside and just inches
They're
ahead.
running out of track.
But Neef
Goes
goes towards the line and wins the reverse good race for Coach Eric Academy. In their first event with
Titus going to do
EERC.
it again.
And here comes Alessandro Valente to take a first podium for Hunter Birch Simulation. And Joshua will be very happy with that. But perhaps not as happy as Alessandro Valente himself. And look, he knows it. But here comes Sutherland. Petravsky just holding on. No, he doesn't. He misses out to Conrad. Conrad gets him across the line. Oh, what happened there? If you
I
look at the
think he's
Hunter
run out
Birch
of
car.
fuel.
He must have run out. He was pushing like crazy to hold on to that 4th place. And Conrad just got him at the end. Petravsky 5th. Perez 6th. Boros 7th. Loic Meunier will finish 7th. 8th, sorry. Skabados will get his best result in 9th. Christian Lewis will round out the top 10, just holding off from Homewood. Alan Farago will finish 12th. There he is. And there's Sven Gielhed, gamely carrying on in 13th. So, unlucky position and an unlucky race for him. But he carried on. He did the best he could. And at least the success ballast won't be all going his way after winning race 1. There's Peter Schumann crossing the line. McHugh, Duncan, Alloy had a horrible of race. Not sure quite what happened to him. He'll be the last to cross the line, but Varga will be the last finisher then. No, Skesbolix will be the last finisher behind Varga. So 19 cars finishing. But it's Eric Neath who takes reverse grid victory. Let's wait for Alloy to cross the line before we show the results. Alloy, sorry. No, he's Alloy, sorry. A wire cross there. My commentating brain.
I'm surprised he hasn't made positions, to be honest.
Could
From
there be
his pace
damage
in
to
race
that car?
one.
Let's look as he crosses the line. Well, there will be damage in a moment. But it looked okay to me. There we go. Alloy finishes in 17th. But ultimately, it's disappointment for him. The elation. The Coach Eric Academy, Interbert Simulation, and Ring of On, who take out the podium places. So, let's have a look at our veteran results then. There we go. So, victory beneath with Valente 12 seconds down in second. Sedland in third, fought his way up there. Conrad fourth, Petravsky fifth, Pires sixth, Boros seventh, Loic Mounier 8th, Victor Skabados 9th, Christian Lewis rounding out the top 10. Then, Nick Homewood 11th, Akos Farrago 12th, Sven Gielhed 13th, Peter Schumann 14th, Thomas McHugh 15th, Bruce Duncan 16th, Nassim Alloy 17th, Adam Varga 18th, and Skesbolix 19th, the last finisher, with Rubenite, the first of the retirements, followed by Dom Tranquil and Eric Kamedi, who was really in the wars in this first weekend, but he does have a race finish under his belt now in British touring cars. So, an interesting start to the season, that's for sure. Can we get any interviews with these drivers?
I guess we're about to find out.
Okay, well, Eric's gone, so we'll have to see. Let's see if we can get an interview with ask them all before they disappear, do whatever they're going to do. Let's see if Sedland wants an interview. I'll have to drag these guys in, I'm assuming, because they probably don't have permission. I'm going to wait to see if they... Yeah, Kamedi just disconnected about 8 minutes ago. No, 8 seconds ago. So, yeah, it was a day late and $1 short on that one. There we go, some brilliant action there. Any thoughts while we wait, Chris, for anyone to get back to us?
Yeah, that was a proper touring car race. Lots of action, lots of, let's say, love given to the cars.
I'll be interested to see where Alessandro Valente sits in the championship. Let's see if the season standings work. They probably don't. Yeah, there we go. No one's put a thing in there, so yeah, the season standing's still empty because we haven't had any results entered yet. But we will in a moment, I'm sure. Right, well, nobody getting back to me, so I'll just drag him in, I guess. Add him as a friend and then drag them in. That's the problem with switching to Mumble. I don't know how anything works. I haven't used it since.
You can just click and drag.
Oh, okay. And we are joined by Loic Mounier for an interview, provided Loic is up to it. And he's still muted, so I guess we're not going to hear from him. Well,
we're getting somewhere.
Okay. Nassim Alloy tends to be... Oh, no. He just disappeared. Great. Let's see if Christian Lewis wants an interview. Drag him in and then ask. Probably the way I should do it from now. Just been joined by Christian Lewis. Just held on to a top 10 finish in the reverse grid race after a 10th place finish in race 1. So, Christian, not the easiest couple of races for you. Some big action there. Talk us through it.
Oh, Jesus.
I think that says it all, doesn't it?
It got a bit, how do I put it? Hairy on quite an occasion.
Yeah, so
Safe to say.
a penalty in race 1, and then a big accident in race 2 that left you with damage. You really just had to see out the rest of the race and hold on as best you could.
Yeah, I think the penalty, race 1, down to cut tracks being wrong, I think. Should have been 10, I had 3 and it penalised me for whatever reason. But it is what it is.
You don't have any complaints about any of my drivers, like Valente, for instance? Big green car. 82.
Yeah, the Subaru, I don't
Just
know.
checking.
like going into, oh god, I've got to think about it.
Going too well. Oh, okay. I'll let him know you said that.
No, I'm trying to think of the corner. Shit, I can't remember what
Oh,
number
there we
it
go.
is.
First swear of the season. There we go. There goes all
Turn
our
4,
professionalism.
I think.
Turn 4. Okay, he was a bit close at turn 4.
It was a bit close. Ended up going off the track, but yeah, it is what it is. That's race. Could have left more space, but
Anyway,
Hey.
It was hard luck, but you drove really well considering the damage you had, especially in that second race.
the second race going into that reprofile corner, I just felt a bit like a battering ram. This happened twice within the 2 races.
Yeah.
Is the second time I came the worse off, and it scuppered it. My tyres were gone, as Lewis Hamilton likes to say.
Bono.
Yeah, so best of luck. Let's hope that the next couple of races suit the MG a little bit better, Christian. But thanks for putting on a show. And we've just been joined by Bruce Duncan from SRD Esports. So I had to say, Bruce, I did notice in that first race you were doing very well considering the fact that you didn't qualify. So I was very impressed to see you get up to P12 at one point and getting that little battle with Thomas McHugh and Eric Kamady. And Bruce is still muted, I think. He's gone away. Eat
Nope.
something. No, there he is, Brucey!
Hello.
It's good to see you from you, Bruce. I was just saying how well you did, considering the lack of qualifying.
Yeah, that was the plan. Just start at the back, let carnage unfold in front of me, and then just try and drive through it all.
You were in, at the end of race 1, a great little battle between yourself, Thomas McHugh, and one of my drivers, Eric Kamady.
Yes,
All ended a bit dramatically, didn't it?
it did. Yeah, I saw the pair of them collide in front, and I thought, oh no, that's it, and just managed to squeeze through somehow. Don't know how though. Really don't know how.
I was just glad to see Eric finish.
Yeah,
Because he hasn't done too much of that in touring cars, so getting a finish under your belt is always a good thing.
yeah.
And race 2, I guess not much to talk about, got lapped at the end, I guess.
Well, no, I had issues trying to get in. It wouldn't actually allow me to hit drive. By the time I managed to hit drive, the leaders were coming round the last sector of the track, so it was just a case of trying to drive and see how many places I can make up. I think was about 10 minutes to go. I was 1 minute 30 behind the car in 15th, and I pulled it down to about 24 seconds by the end. So if we just had those maybe another 5 minutes, I would have probably got 15th place, but unfortunately, it's one of those things.
Well, hard luck on that. Let's hope that reverse grip goes better next time.
Yeah.
And you get drive engaged.
Yeah.
I did another championship where the championship leader broke their wheel and couldn't take part in a race. It was Norbert Precker.
Oh,
And we were talking after the race about doing a crowdfund to buy him a new wheel. And I was hoping to get an interview with Ben Sporus there, but he saw I dragged him in and ducked out there. But anyway, Bruce, for a first round of the championship, it's a weird concept a little bit in a way. Touring cars on these endurance layouts essentially, we're using a week later basically for endurance racing. But How successful do you think it was? Because there was some great action on our end, but obviously to drive, it's a rather different kettle of fish altogether.
Yeah, I suppose with it being the longer tracks, the main thing is just try and look after your tyres, especially front-wheel drive cars, because they will just absolutely get destroyed, especially at Barcelona. But I think it seemed to work quite well.
Well, that's great to hear, Bruce, because I think there were a couple of people who were not sceptical, but they were sort of wondering how this was all going to turn out, and I was certainly very pleased, and not just because my driver finished second in the reverse grid race. But anyway.
It's you always associate touring cars with shorter tracks like Knock Hill and all small tracks, but they do seem to work well on the longer tracks as well.
That bodes well in a couple of months when you hit Nordschleife.
Yeah.
Is Nordschleife the next round?
No, Silverstone in between.
Silverstone, of course, yeah. Anyway. So, Chris, do you have any closing thoughts before we end the broadcast? Thanks, by the way.
That was definitely a touring car race.
On that, we are in full agreement. So Sven Gielhed and Eric Neef take first blood here at Circuit de Catalunya. We'll be back next time for Silverstone. But if you can't wait that long, we've got EERC Endurance Racing here at Catalunya. And that is on... What date is it? Let me just have a look. 8 days. So that is the 15th, of course. Saturday, 15th of January. So we hope to see you there. And it's sure it's going to be a great 6-hour event if it's anything like these touring car rounds. So from me, Edward Hunter, from Joshua Birch, had to leave earlier, but did do a great job when he was here. From Chris Tompkins, our race director and commentator, and from all our drivers here at EERC British Touring Car Championship. It's goodbye, and we'll see you next time.